What we're gonna do today is put this giant Tesla screen in his truck. On today's episode of Watch JR Go, we have to make the guy who doesn't work on his own car's life much better. What is going on, guys? I am Watch JR Go, and again, I'm here with Tanner Braungart, and in the last video, we fixed your Challenger.
Yep.
I saw that you broke it again.
It is broken, yes.
What happened this time?
It's at the shop right now. Well, I have a little video, actually, I'll show you.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It was smoking this morning.
Okay, that's
Bunch
cool.
of coolant coming out. It said it was overheating. I was like, oh, if it's just the thermostat, then...
It's not the thermostat. The thermostat's brand new.
Something is wrong.
Something else is wrong. Probably popped a line or something.
I know you're a busy guy.
It could be a radiator. It could.
Yeah.
It's probably something easy. I feel like that V6 doesn't break a lot. It's not the worst V6.
I don't think it'll be a huge deal, but if I was going to use your time, I was going to use it for all these wires, because...
Let's do this. So, guys, what we're going to do today is put this giant Tesla screen in his truck. But first, we got to talk about the truck. So, take us on a tour of this truck, because it's actually pretty legit.
Getting kind of custom, actually, yeah. I
Toyota
was never
Tundra.
a big truck guy, but recently, I guess, yeah. I got this like $900 light bar that looks really factory. It's a NSD or something. I don't forget the brand, but yeah, that just tied in with like a little cow guard, as they call it.
Yeah, gotta have the brush
like
guard,
that.
cattle guard.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got rigid lights down here.
Heck
Rigid fog lights are super sick. I mean, obviously, this is all the nice stuff.
I'm going
And
for the off-road look, and then I've
Yeah.
never once really actually off-roaded it.
You got a mall crawl, really.
Yeah.
But this is more, it's not really a mall crawler, this is a parking lot crawler, because you guys live in this thing like half the year.
Yeah, almost half the year. We live in the back, so I'll show you the camper.
And then the TRD Pro just gets that hood scoop, I think, right?
I think that's right,
a
yeah.
Pro thing. We've got some steps on here, big tires, TRD wheels, and here in the back,
The interesting portion.
you got
Predator 3500 generator.
Okay, I was gonna say a Harbor Freight generator.
Yep. The only thing that can power the air conditioning unit is an EcoFlow that sits in here. And we made this custom little box. It's kind of goofy, but also kind of cool. I'll show you here.
Did you make this box while your leg was broken?
My friend helped me do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
If you see me limping, I broke my ankle. Got another cover because I lived on a dirt road, but yeah, basically we made that and some custom little tubing for the exhaust and intakes that go, and it just fits right on the window there, so we have air conditioning without having to move a bunch of stuff.
Ah, in your sliding window.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, I get it. You guys keep staying in Arizona and California and it's 100 at night.
That is the problem. You
Yes.
go to bed and you can't sleep because it's so miserable. This is my favorite thing. Well, it won't swing out in here because we don't have enough room, but I got the swing arm that's usually for bikes, and I'm definitely past the weight limit, but it swings out fully, and then you can just like leave it there. It's out of your way, access everything.
Cool.
But since the extension was so long, you can actually still
Open
put
the tailgate. Okay,
all the way down.
Nice. Even with your
kinda
gas can
ridiculous.
on there, you can open the tailgate.
Yeah, it's hard to put back up. The gas can placement might have to change.
I like that you have a CO2 detector chilling there.
Yeah, since we
Just in case.
use the generator, I figured that might be smart. But
Smart. And then you've got like a whole wardrobe here underneath, right?
Yeah, yeah. And here we got, they're not the cool
Oh, wow.
6-foot drawers, but they are 2.5 feet, 3 foot.
That's cool.
But enough
Yeah.
stuff, you know, the essentials, toilet
Yes, sir.
paper, bug
toilet
spray,
paper, yeah.
duct tape. And then some LED lights. We got a permanently hot little 12 volt, 3 little plugins there for phones. And
Cool.
we also put homemade curtains in here, sewed by my stepmom. Shout out Megan.
Yep.
It's a lost art form. I
it
never,
really is hard to find people to sew.
Bro, I never
Yeah.
learned, so there's that. But she helped me out. We used to have some that adhesived on here, but they would melt off every trip.
Okay.
So we'd have to replace them every new time.
I see.
So if you do a truck camper, use real curtains.
You have the power locks?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
nice.
it unlocks and locks with the truck. It's really cool.
That is really cool.
And then the next edition is sitting in the back seat of the truck. It's a big solar panel setup. I just told John I've been binge watching videos, trying to learn everything I can for my little setup. And we're gonna be powering a fridge, getting rid of the cooler, pretty much making it as cool as the setup can be, I think.
Well, there's one more thing you need to go on these road trips, and that
That's right.
is
not watching video. Don't worry, government.
so Tanner wanted CarPlay on this, and this is like a 21, isn't it?
It's a 19.
19,
but it should have CarPlay.
and it didn't
doesn't.
have CarPlay.
So ridiculous.
So you had a local shop take
Yep.
this head unit out and add a CarPlay module.
Correct.
And it doesn't work right?
It does not. It works 3/4 the time,
Okay.
but the sound is lower than the volume used to go, which is really annoying.
I see.
And it's just buggy and glitchy. Interface is horrible, and yeah, they also charged me double what they said they would to put it in after taking almost no time to do so. So
Okay, what did it end up costing all in?
$650.
Oh,
about. Yeah,
man.
for a piece of crap Chinese thing that cost me like $200 off Amazon. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that was so he could have CarPlay with the factory head unit there. And you got to admit, the factory head unit looks good. It looks pretty rugged in these things. But today, we are going to replace literally all of it, I guess. And I haven't torn this down, but just looking at this right now, it looks like they never got the head unit back in.
No.
It's just kind of chilling.
Yeah, it wants to come out.
And I think if we just start pulling down here at the bottom, this whole thing's gonna come right out. There's a seam right there.
Yeah.
So this should be pretty easy to get out. And then we're gonna put in that giant screen. It does replace the climate control. Kind of sucks having to go through a menu to use the climate.
I'm not happy about that. But
Yeah, but it's about the only way to have like native everything in the truck.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going for here. So we're just gonna figure out how to get the old head unit out, and then we're gonna hook this thing up and see what it's like. I'm super excited to see this thing. I was gonna put one of these in the Rolls Royce. Yeah, because it's huge. It was a big screen back in the day before cars. All cars have giant screens now.
Yeah.
But you know, 4 years ago, that wasn't really the case.
Yeah.
So today we're gonna put a giant screen in this, and we'll see what it takes to install it. I didn't realize how bad of a situation this was. Tanner was telling me, so right now it's on the Toyota screen here on the dash, right? This is the factory Toyota screen. Everyone knows and loves it. It's not great. It looks like the Flintstones built this interface, but it does work, and it's fast and it's reliable. Like if we turn the volume down and we switch sources, like look how fast we could do literally everything on this. It's a normal OEM head unit. How do I switch to CarPlay again?
you have to hit the power button. Usually.
What? All right, so this is honestly not horrific.
Yeah.
Because the maps are good. That's
Yeah, it doesn't
okay.
look bad factory. I just wanted the CarPlay, I guess. Let's see.
Home.
If you go to sources, audio,
Okay.
source, aux.
Okay. And now look at the interface. It's terrible. That's the most horrific looking interface.
It looks so.
And then
low
you
quality
said-
in real life.
And then every time you open this, you have to go manually reconnect your phone.
Yeah, you got to connect
Oh.
it to Wi-Fi and Bluetooth.
I mean, did they give you USB ports so you could just plug it in?
I think you can do that. I'm not sure if I had them do it down here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be okay with that. I don't mind wired CarPlay, but also it is 2024. Like wired CarPlay has been dead for quite a while, really. Wireless CarPlay is easy to implement. So, I already pulled off the all the stuff down here, right? Ooh, there's wiretaps in here like crazy. I wonder what all these wiretaps are doing. Interesting. All right, so we got to unplug everything down here. This panel, you just kind of pry from the top and it comes right off. It was no big deal. And that's almost all of it already. There are some USB ports in here.
Okay.
USB and aux right there.
Awesome. So they did keep that.
They did something here. There are a lot of zip ties and a lot of bundles up in here we're gonna have to cut out. Let's pull the climate out now. So the climate you just pull. That was easy. Easier than I expected, honestly. Okay, climate unhooked. Ooh, the airbags just went crazy. We got
like that.
We got SRS malfunctions already. And now we've got a couple tins that we need to pull. So it looks like there's just two. Come on. I really think that's all we have to do. Oh, there might be two more way in the back. Yep, there's two more. I need an extension, and then we can go all the way back behind the radio. So that's all you have to do to get this out. It's really, really fast. I'm gonna go get wire cutters to start cutting out their zip ties on the USB cables, and then we'll get this out of here, and then we'll figure out how much stuff hopefully didn't get cut. I mean, obviously they It looks like they pulled the power for it with those wire taps that we all hate those vampire taps. They're not good. I mean, something's powering like your DRLs and stuff too, which is very cool. Oh, how sick is that? It has like Knight Rider mode?
Yeah, it goes back and forth over there.
All right, that is so cool. All right.
Useless, but awesome.
Useless, but awesome. You just roll up everywhere with your Knight Rider white lights. All right, let me go get an extension and let's get this out of here so we can move on to the giant screen. All right, here we go. There's actually 4 tins. You will need a very deep extension to get this out. Oh, so easy.
There she comes.
There is a bunch of stuff crammed in here. This is a pretty crazy looking factory head unit, isn't it? Like, how wild to have what is the modern, like, eBay kind of head unit is what this is. You know, where they do, like, just a screen with a tiny little din, single din behind it. It's kind of interesting seeing this come out of the factory. There's a lot of antennas on this. Antenna. We're going to go ahead and make the truck mad with a couple of these, I'm sure. Oh, some of these are the CarPlay T interfaces. I see. These guys right here are CarPlay add-ons. So, almost done deleting. I don't know if I've ever seen this many connectors, even in like BMW and Mercedes. This is epic. I'm not mad one bit. Oh, okay. A bunch of these are screen to nav unit or something. That makes sense. But this one won't release. And why? There it goes. Okay, so these ones actually stay connected because they just go from what's probably the hard drive or nav unit right here, video processor, into the back of this. It does look like that's nav or something. That's one way to make it optional. It's literally a whole module that bolts onto the bottom of the radio.
Cables are confusing. I'm leaving it to you.
Well, I think this will actually be pretty easy to do after we unhook all the CarPlay stuff and then find out wherever they hid this module, which it looks like it's right there. It is right there, isn't it? Let's see if I can get some light in there. So now, all right, there's a lot of stuff hiding up in here, but the Velcro was coming off. There it is. That's CarPlay.
Wow.
Oh, this is actually the factory radio connector, I think, and all the rest of this can come out.
Interesting.
So that should have stayed on that, just like so. And then we can delete all these T-harnesses, I think. I think there's no reason for any of that. Toyota can line. This sure seems like an aftermarket piece. Oh, it is. It's all zip tied on here. Okay, so I just need to cut a bunch of zip ties. That's where we're at, is to delete everything out of this truck, lots of zip tie cutting, and we'll be back to factory, and once it is factory, we can plug in all the new stuff. Because it's all plug and play. It's designed for the truck. So we should just plug in like 50 connectors again, and we're home free.
Just 120 cables.
It's pretty crazy, right? Like,
it's ridiculous.
What is connected to this connected to the box, this connected to the head unit, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, something like 8 instead of the usual 2. Antenna plus power and speakers.
Jeez.
So, all right, we're getting close. So the new head unit also has 1 million connectors on it, and we're not really gonna read the instructions or anything like that because it should be relatively obvious here. It doesn't come with the clips pre-installed, so you do need to install those before you snap this thing into place. But if you look here on the radio, you've got the normal Chinese Android radio connector, the same one everybody uses, HDMI in, which is very cool, tons and tons of multi-pin connectors right there that tie off to all those factory interfaces, standard antenna, a fan hole with no fan in it, which is also interesting, and then Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and GPS antennas for navigation and all that stuff. But it also has 4G plus and 4G minus listed there. So I think it might have a built-in phone, and that even makes more sense when you find out that there is a SIM card slot, a remote SIM card slot right here. You can mount in the cabin if you want to make the phone work, I guess. So I think this may actually have a full 4G phone inside it. Kind of cool. And then I'm still putting clips on, almost done with that. And then the climate control connector is right there on the bottom. So this is designed for whatever vehicle you want. I think these Phoenixes are probably pretty good because they're a nice all-in-one. I mean, look at that. You get some of the climate buttons. The climate hard buttons are actually there. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out what this is like here in just a moment after we hook up all of these wires. So there's a little bit of work to do here. Obviously Wi-Fi, obviously GPS, and then 50 different USB options. Just a lot of stuff we can do. So we're gonna start doing.
You say obviously, maybe you guys it's obvious as well, but
this stuff's honestly like, this connector only plugs in one spot.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
4-pin. The 6-pin, one spot.
That's fair.
This like 20-pin, one spot. So you can't really mess it up. You just have to kind of take your time routing the wires and figuring out what you need for your application.
just plug them all in, stuff them. That's all you got to do.
That's kind of the truth with radios. Is a lot of it goes behind the dash. So we're gonna get to doing. So the truck's on. Let's see how mad it gets when we plug this thing in for the first time. I assume it's going to be a little bit upset. Okay, she should have came on. Hey!
There you go.
12 navigation system. Gotta love 12 navigation.
Interesting.
We could plug in the climate too. Just, I want to kind of pre-test everything before we get crazy here. Let's see if the airbags blow. Should we?
As long as it's only your airbag.
Yeah, I know, right?
Android is started.
Okay, that climate did not go in. It's really fighting me here.
Let me know if you need me to hold something.
There's a bent pin in the climate control.
Is there?
Yeah, I might have just done it because it didn't. That's how you gotta fix them. Just carefully line them back up.
Carefully stab them.
There we go. Line back up. Trying again. Hopefully it actually plugs in this time. I don't know why it didn't that time. It's just tough to get all this hooked up at once. There's no excess wire for the climate control. They really made this difficult. There it went.
Sweet.
Okay, now let's test it out. Before we send it home, this took all of 18 minutes. Wow! It has the fast boot option.
That's cool.
That booted instantly.
Yeah, that was nice.
Man.
The other one took like 14 seconds before I could put it in reverse so the camera wouldn't show up.
Okay, interesting though. We have beeps.
But nothing's happening.
Yeah, nothing's happening. Volume up, down, home. Cool.
And that's it.
Can we climate? We do need climate here. What if we reboot the truck again? Let's, okay, here we go, here we go. Shutting down, that's good. Of course it doesn't shut down, it's Android with fast boot. Oh.
There we go. Kind of.
Yeah, none of it's working.
Dang.
Do you have heated and cooled seats?
I have heated seats, not cooled.
Okay. How come none of it works?
That's a good question.
This is less than ideal.
This is clearly not sponsored by Phoenix Automotive.
we're definitely just like, does it work or does it not? I think there's a cable that plugs in between the two units on the back, and I didn't put that in here. I think there's one more cable that we're missing, and it's this or something. Yeah, one of these cables ties the receiver together. Maybe that's what was going on. I guess don't blame Phoenix Automotive yet for this not working. There was a connector we were missing in the harness coming out of the back of the radio, just hanging down. There's a little tiny connector with like 15 pins in it, and that plugs into the lower part of the unit. So if you guys look right there, it's this one that's wrapped in Tessa tape. This is crazy. The amount of wires on this is out of control. There must be 100+ wires connected. But now I think we should have the buttons on the front. So all of the physical controls, all of them run through that connector there. So now if we turn this thing on again, hopefully, that's what it was. The hazards work suddenly. Okay, so let's turn this on. Hey, look at that. And the climate control's back. Okay, so that's annoying. The volume doesn't turn down.
Is this still the volume? Yeah, what do those knobs go to?
I wonder if we have to like configure the volume.
Oh boy.
We might. Okay, let's see. Can we see the rear camera? Hey,
oh,
all right. So we got that now.
So goofy looking.
And this works now, right?
What is it?
Well, it's supposed to be the home button. Not in love with the interface so far. Not in love with it. Does that?
Nope.
Does this? Okay, well, good. I'm glad the climate controls are controlling the climate. Hopefully this doesn't end up with that situation you had recently where you had nothing but heat for, what was it, a month?
It was a month, yeah.
A month
on a road
of
trip.
Full heat, nothing else.
Yeah, and it got hotter the faster we drove.
Well, I hope this doesn't ever break. You should carry this in your truck. And if something goes wrong, you just rip this out and just hook up this connector.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta do.
Sweet.
Luckily, you don't need any screws to get to your climate. That's
Heck
it.
yeah.
It's just pull fasteners. Okay, does mode work? Does this really bring in your speedometer? Because that is super cool if it does.
Ooh, I don't know.
Oh, this button is climate mode. I thought it was radio mode. It's literally climate. Okay.
There's no way the heated seats are gonna work. They're a button on the side of the seat.
Okay. I was gonna say, it doesn't look like those are working. Connected devices, Bluetooth, and it's called Car Kit. Can we rename it? We can.
Nice.
Okay. What are we calling this? Camper?
Yeah.
Camper. That way they know that you camp in Halo.
That's right. No, I don't. I rush only.
I rush on. All right, it's now saved as camper.
Sick. All right, we've got camper loading up.
Camper it is. I'm not liking these not working.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Oh my gosh. That's
Wait, you control them with the knobs?
that one's fan speed? Can you reconfigure the knobs? That one turns
Whoa.
it turns the fan off too.
That's actually sick.
I actually want that to be tuned though. Hold on.
Yeah.
What's this? Temperature then?
Could it be?
There's no way. There's no way. Home. Is that clock settings? Okay. Settings. 24-hour time off, right? You don't use
Nope.
it. Wow, we're in Beijing. That's where it came from. All right, so we need -6. We got to move it to America. -6, -6. Chicago. Oh, they're calling it Central America on here.
Wow.
Everyone else calls
Thanks, guys.
Everyone else calls it Chicago.
Yep.
GPS update time automatically. Love that. Time format 12-hour. Love that. Now if we could just figure out how to configure the climate controls, we'd be pretty set up here. Well, I was gonna show sticking this in, but all we had to do, we were trying to get all the wires situated because there are like 10,000 wires behind this to, you know, turn all the factory connectors into the Chinese connectors. And then I kind of set all the cables back in the hole and just pushed, and it fell right into place. So unfortunately, it's already done, but I think if we fire this thing up, we're ready. So let's see if we're good to go here. First of all, does this still do climate, or is it? It is fan speed.
Wow.
Why is the knob fan speed?
I don't know, but I like it.
Okay, I prefer it being tuned, but the one thing we do need to figure out is why the temp is still, now it's in Fahrenheit, but it says 1 Fahrenheit.
What?
Did you just see this? Look. It says 1 Fahrenheit. The coldest truck of all time. Low? No, 1. I think it thinks it's Celsius, but man,
Could be.
this is, okay. Yeah, that's 100% Celsius, right? 25C would make sense.
Yeah.
Oh, it tried to get warm.
Yeah.
So we need to figure out how to configure that. And now I think we have everything else figured out, right? So if we hit cam, you get your backup camera, right?
Heck
And then
yeah.
nothing else worked before, but now all the buttons work. Oh, your backup sensors even showed up. Okay, you have to push cam again to leave cam. Navigation loads Google Maps, which is cool. Everybody loves Google Maps. It's a classic. And you can install Waze on this. Apps. Okay, cool. Apps
Yeah.
opens CarPlay. Look at that. And you didn't have to like open your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth. CarPlay just loaded, and we know the music's playing. We got Lincoln Park currently. We also know that you don't know how to answer your phone or check your messages.
We don't talk about it.
Wait, hold on. Where's the emails at? It says like,
You don't want to see those.
it just says 88 million instead of 88.
There is at least 500,000.
Yeah, I believe. My messages also says like, I think 16,000 now. So
It's so funny.
I get it. You can't, eventually you just give up.
Yep,
You
that's
can't,
true.
you can't keep going like that. All right, so we also did a few things that are kind of cool here. So we took the USB ports from his CarPlay install here, and you can see down here, he's got multiple 12-volt outlets, which I'm sure you use because I see an inverter down here.
Yes, sir.
And now you'll have the aftermarket USB. This is the secondary USB for this, and it will charge phones or do things that you want. And then your factory USB is wired CarPlay, in case you decide that you need to plug it in and be on CarPlay. So all of these should charge your phone, and I'm gonna plug them all in just a moment. Well, the USB 2 is plugged in, and then you also have one more USB down here in case you wanna charge another phone. We might just leave that hanging out in the console.
I'm gonna be watching this video later just to remember everything you just said.
That's
so.
right. I'll be like, so your USB ports, you gotta watch the video to know how it works.
I'll ask you for help and you'll be like, just go watch.
Yeah, I don't wanna help you with that. Okay, so the next thing I wanna know is, hey, they lit up and it dimmed. Did you see it dim too? So it's getting illumination from CAN bus, which is nice.
That's cool.
And man, you got messages pop. Oh, look at that, it's changing colors.
That's awesome.
Oh, it's already in color fade.
That's sweet.
So I know you can actually go in here in the settings. Let's go to car and then home. Actually apps, right? Probably apps.
Probably
no.
apps.
Okay, apps is loading CarPlay. But if we click on apps here, we can go into the settings. Oh, this has Chrome, full on Chrome. But somewhere in here, we can actually set up the colors on the knobs, or the colors on the buttons. Oh, cool. Wow. You got some settings in here. This is crazy. All right. Radar distance, mic selection. Oh, factory microphone. Cool, right?
Nice.
Well, it does have factory and internal. I hope it's going to this one. All right, guys, we got this thing all put together. I will say I went in and there's a setting in here where you adjust the head unit for its CAN bus output so you can control the climate. And I changed it. When we originally hooked the car up, it was set to 2012 Camry and 14 and up Prada. And it was all working. Everything was working correctly. So I was like, oh, well, that's wrong. I'm gonna change it to the right vehicle. And I went down to Tundra and it all stopped working completely. So it ended up not working again until we pulled the head unit back out and unhooked all the connectors and plugged them back in. And now it's set to 2014 plus Tundra with manual climate, and it's all working. All the buttons are back, everything's working. We're watching the Cybertruck durability test on screen. So, yes, sir, it works. So that is, it's actually on the shop's Wi-Fi right now, but it will work on his phone's Wi-Fi, and he should also be able to just hit apps and switch back to CarPlay. How cool is that? Too bad it won't natively switch. Google Maps loads with the map now? Oh, you can sign in, so you can have your, okay, there we go. Google Maps, same as device theme, save. Oh, cool, dark mode for the win. And then if we switch back to YouTube, oh wait, I think if we actually, let's hit this, the app switcher. Come on.
Little sticker?
Yeah, I don't want to take the screen protector off till it's time, you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
There we go. We're back. I mean,
yeah.
it is, this is the fastest one they make, and it's honestly, if we had to review this, the screen is not great.
Yeah, it's slow. Like if you want to type something,
unbelievably slow.
Prepare for anger.
We've been typing Wi-Fi. We typed his phone's Wi-Fi password. We typed my shop's Wi-Fi password. We typed whistling. We got that far, and it wouldn't autocomplete. And the keyboard is just, I mean,
that's what half of this time was taken up with. Was trying to
type on the screen. It's so bad.
Yeah.
But you do get everything in one package, so we'll give it a lot of credit. This is the most memory and the biggest processor. Tanner didn't even want to do that one, and I was like, you need the fast one, dude. You do actually need the fast
I was like, why should I pay more? Well,
no, it turns out if you could actually pay more, it would.
Yeah, it would be
And this
better.
thing's expensive, right? Isn't it $700?
Maybe $8, yeah.
$800.
Yeah.
It should work better. First of all, this should make more sense. And the rest of our feedback on this is they do not have user manuals. You guys know I love installing my Toyotas because they're dirt cheap, but they'll talk to you. It's super easy to talk to them. And maybe it's easy to talk to Phoenix, but we didn't try calling them or emailing them because you shouldn't have to do that, right? But a Toto has install guides and they make sense and they're also normal. This is incredibly hard to get information about. So we just figured it out on our own because all of the guides online don't work. It says to like set the baud rate for the CAN bus and all this stuff. Well, those settings don't exist because this is Android 10 and all of their docks are from Android 7 and at least 4 years old. Yeah, the latest update to those docks was 2020.
Jeez.
In my head, I was like, yeah, that's only 1 year old.
Yeah. Then you think about it and you're like, we're the ones that are old.
I had to think about it while I was talking to you guys to realize how long ago 2020 was. That's really old. So, yeah, we got all this working. Let's go drive it and see what it's like. So far, I think we've got everything working, and it's pretty cool. Honestly, it's pretty cool. And you can do a lot of customization too, which is very nice. All the steering wheel controls are working. Climate's all working. It does all work. Heated seat controls definitely do not work because, like Tanner said, they're down here. These are aftermarket.
Are they?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
100%. Those are aftermarket. That is not a factory heated seat control right there. Somebody put that in there.
Interesting.
I was mind blown to see that.
Rad.
Right? Tanner brought up a good point. Now on the dash it says SRS airbag system malfunction. Well, you guys have seen plenty of airbag troubleshooting on this channel before. One of the reasons that can be set is because it's able to sense if the passenger airbag light on the dash burns out. And we unplugged it while the truck was on, because I like to actually see this stuff working. And now it's set a code in the airbag computer that we have to clear, and then hopefully this thing has enough resistance to keep that code from being set. If not, I just take it back out one more time and put the factory climate back and then plug it all back in with the ignition off and then turn it back on and it'll be cleared. But hopefully we can just clear the codes and we're good to go. So you can run into some issues with this. Oh, and the other thing that I wanted to talk about, first of all, the CAN bus integration is very, very cool. Take a look at this. You can see the screen and now you can see the doors are open. So that's cool. But we're both upset about it still. Now it shows Celsius, but says Fahrenheit. It's not great, honestly. This works though, right? Yeah. Yeah. Well, we got to give him credit for the backup camera working perfectly.
Yeah.
And do you get the speedometer? Oh, you do get the speedometer. Nice. That's pretty cool.
Heck yeah.
If we could just figure out how to change the background. I like how it's just a little green bar.
Yeah, right? So lame. Wait, does the camera work?
Yeah, you can watch the camera while you drive, which is very nice. That
is so helpful.
Yes.
I'm always so worried about all this stuff.
It's so good to be able to look back and not have to like stop at a stoplight or something.
Yes, exactly.
Crazy.
Amazing.
All right.
They're getting more brownie points.
Yeah, they are. It's actually not too bad. And then do we have nav? We don't have Wi-Fi anymore, but do we have show where we are? Come on, Google Maps.
China, don't you know?
Yeah, it actually does show we're in China. So if we want to go to, let's go to Firehouse because we need some subs. I like how it suggested smileys. Go. Yeah, no, we're offline.
So we connect my...
Yeah, although it's probably on CarPlay, isn't it?
Let's see.
Oh, wait, why wouldn't you just use CarPlay? Forget the built-in maps.
Right?
Okay, so is your...
it on CarPlay now?
Yeah, turn on your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth. Is your Bluetooth on?
Ricky. Yes, it is, but it needs to be on camper.
Oh, yeah, you gotta select camper.
Oh, it's connecting. Sweet. So just... Bluetooth, don't have to do Wi-Fi as well, I don't think.
You do for wireless. Oh yeah, it doesn't need to be on. It
it automatically does it.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So now we've got maps that works, right? Hey, perfect. Nice. You don't need to worry about any of that stuff.
Got to go through the internet trouble for YouTube.
Yeah, I know. We have to remember that it's two different computers. One computer is a mirror of your phone, and the other computer is the computer.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so now if we get out of here, we get the Lincoln Park, and we're all good.
Nice.
Whew. And SharePlay. Good old SharePlay.
Yeah.
And the volume works. Perfect. Well, there you go. That's our review of installing the massive Phoenix Automotive touchscreen in this thing. It works. It will get you all the features you want. And CarPlay will be reliable. The wireless CarPlay is working perfectly every time the vehicle turns on in this. But it's got a lot of downsides too, and I think we showed you guys all of them. Painful downsides sometimes. The temperature being in Celsius but showing Fahrenheit is painful. That one, it really boggles the brain there. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.watchjrgo.com for cool shirts just like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. All right, Tanner, put me in Night Rider mode.
All right, wait, all right.
Swipe. Oh, dude, that is really cool, honestly. You can see it all the way on the other wall of the shop.
Worth every penny.
Dude, that is definitely worth every penny. It looks factory and it's incredible.
It's actually so bright too.
Yeah, put it in bright. Woo! That's pretty sweet.
I like it. What is going on, guys? Today we are back. Today I guess I broke into John's house because he's nowhere to be found. But I found his camera and just look at this. This guy's still watching his giant TV. He's got his giant expensive TV. He's watching it in a lawn chair. Respect.